Hey guys, welcome back. It's another Buyee video. We're gonna go through the listings. Essentially, I'm going to get you guys a little bit familiar. We're gonna take a look at the photos, the description of the listings, and then we're gonna look at the cards that actually arrived to see, did we get duped? Did we get deceived in any way? Or was it pretty much as described or better? It's going to be a nice little treat here. Thank you to Buyee for the partnership for this video and for many others. Much appreciated. I've been using Buyee long before I'd even had the channel. So awesome service. I suggest you learn how to buy stuff from Japan yourself. And there's probably no better place to start than getting Buyee. There's a coupon down below. You can save 10% off your first order or 2,000 yen off your first order, whichever one you determine is the better option. There's two different links for that. There's a new little option here for anyone that is a Buyee veteran. We have the purchase request for other sites. So if you didn't know, you can use the tabs here to make your decision where you want to shop. So you want to search on multiple if you're looking for Pokemon cards, or probably pretty much anything else. Sometimes certain places have it. It's essentially like a yard sale. It's kind of like eBay a little bit, where there's people that put their stuff on there when it comes to the Yahoo Japan and the Mercari. But you can also use it for many actual sites, and apparently you can use it for many more than that. At this point, now that they have the special request button up here on the top. So make some use of that. Do be careful if you're not comfortable with this. Hopefully these videos help you become more comfortable, but if you're still looking for a little bit of a tutorial beyond the tutorial that I'll put in the description, do join the happy hour. It's probably the best place to catch me. And if you want a little bit of a walkthrough, a little bit of a little coaching, if you will, a little help with it, till you get comfortable. It's like riding a bike. It's once you know what you're doing here, it's very easy to navigate. Looking for certain items, that's going to take a little bit of practice. A lot of the time you want to translate. You want to go in and look up the name of the Pokemon or whatever you're looking for, the name of the set that you're looking for, or something like that. Find out what the actual Japanese translation is for it, and voila. So you'll see here we're using Chrome. We got Chrome translating this. And sometimes the translation is spot on, other times not so much. So we got a nice juicy little lot here. What do we got? 7 cards total. We'll go through the entire, I think most of the exciting stuff will be towards the tail end, or maybe it'll progressively get more exciting, but we'll try not to spend too much time on each individual section here. So you can see sometimes the photos are not great. You got to kind of bank on it for the most part, not always. The listings, usually the damage is overstated. I don't know if that's sort of like a Japanese thing to kind of, we got a little damage / dirty, so we're going to see how it turns out. They're in sleeves, which is, could be a good sign, could be a bad sign. It's a little bit harder to determine if there's damage on them. And then we got a list down here in the item explanation. For anyone that's wondering, this is through Mercari. So we're not actually purchasing from Buyee, we're purchasing from Mercari. Mercari does not ship to elsewhere in the world. So we're going to use Buyee essentially as a middleman. They're going to purchase the item for you. You ask them to purchase it, they're going to purchase it for you, and voila. All right, cards themselves. Now, if you're purchasing something that's a little bit more expensive, you need to be more careful with these. Pretty inexpensive per card, so we're taking a little bit of a risk it for the biscuit. You can see here the lantern is he's got some thrashing and trashing on it. Now it depends what you're looking for. For me personally, this is 2 damaged. We got a nice little ding there, but again, some of the cards from that same lot might be better or worse. So we got a Magneton here, and he's looking a little bit better. Look at the Jasmine. I do love the Versus series. Wish they had it in English, but they don't, so we're gonna make the exception here. Again, I typically don't. We got like looks like a factory line on the back there, but again, you're not gonna get super high detailed photos if you're buying something that's very expensive. I mean, take the risk accordingly, because even though you can get them to check the package, the Buyee is not going to be able to tell necessarily whether or not an item is counterfeit. They're just going to check it to make sure that the item that is in the listing is the one that you're being sent. So you do need to be cautious. There are scammers out there. Again, I've never been scammed on singles. We got a little nick in the corner here, but other than that, this guy looks pretty good. A little bit of a scuffy wuffy on the front there. Decent overall, other than that first one. We have a Ho-Oh here that, again, I'm not really necessarily collecting anything that has been printed in English. Pretty sure this guy has been in English. Very cool Ho-Oh, the Arita. And some of these you're going to say, Rattle, don't you already own some of these cards? And the answer to that is absolutely, yes. And some of them will be going to a friend of mine who is also collecting the set, who is collecting Japanese cards more than I am. So a little bit disappointed in this lot itself. We have another card here that's got a little bit more damage on it than I want. Some like pressure lines of some sort. Not like terribly scratched, but it seems like something was put on top of them or wedged in between. That they got some like surface impressions that are less than desirable. So worse than usual, worse than expected, and it's gonna happen. So that's the thing too. If you're buying like one card and you're, you know, sinking all your eggs in one basket, it might go badly. You might get something bad. But overall, if you're buying cards this way, traditionally, if you're looking for deals, shopping for deals, it's going to be less expensive overall. It's kind of the same thing with like selling on eBay. If you sell on eBay and you sell one item, and that one item you get scammed on, somebody claims that it wasn't as described or wasn't delivered or whatever, like that's gonna suck. But if you're selling hundreds of items, thousands of items, all of a sudden, like the odd time or that happening is less impactful. You kind of have to take it into consideration. And again, they're still beautiful cards. I do love them. We are looking for certain conditions though. So let's move on to the next one. Blame time. We have a Typhlosion and a Meg Cargo. Sick, nasty. A little bit on the expensive side. Some of these were like not widely available. If you take your time, if you're looking for something certain, especially the less expensive stuff, you can probably find better deals. Depending on how much time you want to spend, depending on how much effort you want to put into the search. Again, you can find them on multiple sites, and if you use the Buyee extension, if you use the custom request might not be a good idea for inexpensive stuff. Again, I'll have to try that out and see how it works. We have a couple cards here. They look like they are in a very good condition. Again, the photos are not professional. We got a little bit of a dingle wingle maybe on the corners here, but overall probably will suffice. I haven't looked at these in advance. I'm going to show you guys everything that is here, whether it turned out good, whether it turned out bad, so you can get a little feel for it. Set yourself up for realistic expectations. Again, sometimes those expectations, they work out wonderfully, sometimes not so great, but get a little practice in. Same with like buying, selling on eBay, same with any other stuff. This is just a little bit more risky because, again, if buyer protection is very limited here, and if it turns out you need to know what a counterfeit looks like, stuff like this. I've never seen a single Versus series card that's counterfeit. If anyone has, I would love to see it, because that's new to me. And here they are. We got the boys, and they're looking pretty good. We got a little bit of a surface dingle. Again, depending on what you're looking for. Ooh, we got a couple little surface nicks, probably just stored. It looks like they were probably stored in a sleeve, but if you have dirt and debris in between the cards and then they're pressed together, you can get that kind of thing going on. I think this guy is still good, still passes the rattle binder qualifications. And then we have this bad boy over here. But again, it depends what you're doing. And if you're grading some, if you're buying, again, if you buy lots, you can get a pretty good deal on it. You can sort through. You need to come in, put a harsh light on it. We got the harshest of harsh lights here. To see what's going on in terms of scratches and dents and dings. Pick out what is gradable, what's not gradable. Sell the raw ones as raw. People will want them anyway for the binders, especially if they're in decent shape like these bad boys. Those are going in the binder. We'll do the binder update at the end of the video. Maybe I'll show the current progress. The struggle is real on the TMs. Just a spoiler. Now, Dragonite and the old Kingdra. Alright, we got Claire, Ibukis. Again, be creative. Not really be creative, but when you're pricing out, or when you're doing searches, make sure that you're using the actual Japanese translation. Again, the Google translation and typing it into certain websites doesn't always work. If it doesn't, if you're not having success with that, do just go Google just type in Dragonite in Japanese into Google. and copy paste that baby. I don't know if this looks like the same seller, maybe. Is it? It is. Okay, same seller as last time, so expectations are probably right along the same lines. The majority of the price probably going towards the Dragonite in this one. Again, fan favorite, if I can speak, fan favorite Pokemon. And he's got a little bit of a scuffy wuffy on him there, but overall not bad. A couple little dingles on the top. Check out the back. Ooh. Let's see if I can get that again. Oh, we got a little ding there. So if you were in hopes of getting 10s here, again with older cards like this, probably pretty hard to do so. The print quality on them, as we've seen from the packs opened, pretty outstanding. We got the Kingdra, pretty bad. Ooh, it almost looks like somebody was like drawing on top of the sleeve or something, or just moved around. We got some scratches. So the Kingdra, pretty bad, pretty bad. Dragonite, not as bad, but far from perfect. Far from perfect. Next up, we have the old Primeape. The old Primeape. Looking cute, looking cool, and I probably overpaid on this. Again, I was in a little bit of a hurry, so I did add some stuff to cart. I think this was the only one available at the time, so I did, you know, I did get a little click happy with the purchases. So the price, in my opinion, probably a little bit over the top. Item condition new, unused. Okay, so our expectations should be very high on this one. Again, it's up to the seller to put that in there. So you do want to look at the images themselves to see, hey, is this what I'm looking at? Is this what I want? It does look like there might be a little bit of stuff going on, but we'll have to see. Primeape, how are you looking? He's looking pretty clean. He's looking damn clean. He looks like he just came out of the pack. Again, maybe you get what you pay for. Maybe that's why it was a little bit more expensive, or the fact that there was just none seemingly listed at the time. I haven't checked right now. It's very possible that more are available, and you got to be patient with a lot of this stuff, especially with the buy it nows. The pricing on this stuff is a little bit all over the place. It typically tends to be with random Japanese stuff, singles that are a little bit harder to come by. The older stuff, short of going to a website that kind of has set pricing. Nice. Okay, Primeape was a success. That is completely knock it out of the park, other than the price, which again I'm kind of unsure about. We have another listing here by the rising lightning emoji. We have Pokemon cards versus. We have the old Jasmine's Jolteon and Ampharos. All right, let's take a look at the pictures. Again, it's slightly out of focus, a little bit in the dark. The black background is much appreciated for anyone that's looking to do like photos of things. The dark background is good, so you can see the actual whitening on the edges here. Looks like we do have a little bit of that. Little damage dirty. Again, same seller as before, so expectations should be that there could be a little bit of damage or dirtiness on it. Probably pressure dents like we saw before. And here they are. We got a Jolteon, a little bit of surface going on, a little bit of surface things going on with the Jolteon. Again, this is like not even visible. Actually, there's a little line right here that's kind of visible without putting it out under some harsh light. If you are grading stuff, or you're really particular about the condition, or if you're taking photos for other people to purchase, the best thing you can possibly do is show all of the damage. That'll pretty much guarantee that you're not getting stuff returned very often, if ever, essentially. If you're upfront and honest, if there's anything that is like beyond near mint, if something's brand new and there's no serious flaws with it, I'll list it as near mint. But outside of that, on eBay, if there's something that has flaws, I'll just put like see pictures or see pics in the description, and we'll actually like show it under different lighting, like show that there's a scratch right there, that sort of thing. Overall, not as bad as the other ones that came from the same seller. Oh, we got a little dingle right there. We got a little dingle. So again, this is probably something. This is a binder copy for sure. If you have dings and dents and stuff, it's probably going to bring it down to a 6 at the highest, unless they absolutely miss it. It's probably what you're dealing with. Not a very exciting one. We have some trainers here. We have EVS Pokemon card versus Energy Circulate Charge Arc Regeneration. So pretty inexpensive. I guess, per card for the age of it. Again, there's probably some websites that you can pick these up where it's be a little bit easier to get them all at once, not shipped from individual sellers. But we're testing things out here, like we did with the booster boxes. Be very careful if you're ordering booster boxes off of these websites where anyone can list them, because we've seen a lot of the resealed stuff in recent times. So here we go. We got all kinds of cool. Please check images. The images are pretty good. We'll give them that. Black background, which is also appreciated. We have a little damage / dirty. Let's check them out. I know this isn't super exciting here with the trainer cards, but it is for me. Again, we're trying to complete the binder set, so anything that we're missing is super cool. And this is looking good. That's looking pretty dang good for a little damage dirty. Can't tell if there's a little bit of a ding there. Not the end of the world. But yeah, we want to set expectations. Maybe photos. Maybe you can play the guess the condition game based on the photos, but mostly just want to get people without having to kind of risk their own money with purchases. Maybe this is a better place to start. You watch through the video here, you set your expectations, you decide whether you would have purchased it or not, and then you see right afterwards whether or not these bad boys were in the expected condition. But yeah, it takes a little bit of practice. And also a little bit of luck sometimes on the condition of this stuff, especially if you're getting into more money. We got a little bit of a little like fingernail imprint on the bottom there, but overall that lot was pretty clean. Now with a lot of the less expensive stuff, again, this is like 1,800 yen. No big deal-a-roni. We're getting some cards that we need. Again, in search of the TMs. The TMs are a struggle. I don't think many of them are if any of them are very valuable. But in terms of putting the set together, I think those are going to be the hardest part. So here we go. We have some pretty nice pictures, considering the group shots. We have a couple of double and colorless energies. We got some versus lightning energies. Typically the energies are tossed in, or you can get those pretty cheap. You're not allowed to play them in an English deck, which is kind of sad. It'd be kind of cool to stick those in there. I mean, technically, if you're just playing at League or playing with friends, you can probably stick those bad boys in there. Again, we're mostly after the trainer cards there. We have some nice back picks. Ooh, a little rough on those bad boys. I think those are just the energies, though. Those are probably just the double colorless energies, which is not a big deal. So with this one, somehow the double colorless energies were not in there. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they forgot them. It's not the end of the world. I don't really want them. But for anyone referencing this is one of those scenarios where if you did have a Buyee, there's like purchase protection or whatever, they would check to make sure that the cards are included. And since they're not included, then there would have been something flagged, something. I don't know if they would get a refund. Or what exactly, but if it was something more expensive than the lot that we're looking at here, might be something to consider. Now they're not going to tell you if it looks slightly different, or if it's a fake card in the listing. I would not be relying on them to be able to identify that it's a fake Pokemon card. It's more to make sure that the contents are actually what was supposed to be, or what was in the photos. We got some pressure stuff on the back here. A lot of pressure stuff going on. Not necessarily scratches, but what looks like cards that were sleeved, and then some nastiness that got in between the sleeves and pressed. For the most part, though, we want to make sure that these TMs are in decent shape. A little bit of a ding down there in the corner. So as we're seeing here, these cards, if they were brand new, we got the energies are here. The lightning energies. I don't know what a double colorless old back energy. Oh god, we got a gasher right there. So that's one of those things. I don't even think I necessarily paid all that much attention to the photos, other than the ones for the TMs, because the energies, not too attached, pun intended, to those. Not really. I mean, we have lots of energies at this point in time. Those are not an issue for putting the set together. Next, a little lot here. We have the Pokemon card versus a Farfetch, Togetic, and a Scyther. Pretty cool. And yes, we're gonna have some dupes here, but hopefully my friend needs them so that we can put them to use. Or if one copy is, you know, jacked up, at least we have the other one. We're gonna go through the photos here. Again, photos are not great. They're not professional in any capacity. We do have the black background. Again, super appreciated that sellers do that. But we can't expect their camera skills to be next level. We're just going based on what they say. It says no obvious damages / dirt. Again, this is a condition that is put in there by them. So let's see how it looks. We got the old Togetic going on here. Looking decent. It's got something going on there. I don't know if that's dirt. If it's dirt, we can always see if we can take a little microfiber, give it a little rubby scrub. See if that helps. If it's, I'll have to take a closer look to see if it's dirt or not. We're not going to spit on it. We're going to avoid doing that. It's gross. Do not spit on your cards. We got the Firo here. These are looking decent. Again, no, it's fine if there's a couple little imperfections. Not what we need. It's going in a binder. We don't care if it's a 10, but we do want it we want it looking decent. We want it looking decent here, and that's entirely up to you whether or not you care. But we're looking for binder copies here. I don't want any like serious dents. I don't want any like, got a little beak action going on there, a little impression. The impressions are real on these. I don't know what's going on over there, but we're getting. Did I show the back of that? Did I show the back of that or not? Ooh, we got some impressions on the back there too. This Farfetch'd has seen some things. Oh, and some scratches. All right, next. Slow bro time. Now, also depending on what packs these come from, the cards might be more or less expensive. Clearly, like when Pokemon are more popular, this might have been a little bit of an overpay. But again, we're trying to test out some different sellers here, trying to test out some different images, and give you a feel. Now, yeah, with the more expensive stuff, this is probably the route to go. With less expensive stuff, because it's shipped separately, you probably, I mean, depending on whether it says shipping provided by seller or buyer, that's pretty important to note here. So this is, you know, the price is baked in. There's no cost for them to ship to Buyee. Just the cost of shipping from Buyee to you, essentially. So that's also something to keep in mind. Depending on how niche the card is that you're looking for, with the inexpensive stuff, you're probably almost certainly better off grabbing a lot of it from like a shop that you can use the extension, just because, oh, that picture is tiny. All right, so we got a lot of trust. We have no obvious damages / dirt, and we have the world's tiniest photos. I thought something was wrong with my computer for a second there, but we're gonna trust. We're gonna believe. There's a lot of description here. Do not accept returns. That's okay. We do not have the ability to return these because that's the nature of buying things in Japan outside of Japan. If we were in Japan, I believe that you can return stuff. Even, not sure how that works. If anyone knows, let me know. If you're in Japan and you order off Mercari or Yahoo Japan, can you always return stuff even if they say no returns? People say that on eBay all the time, no returns. But if you receive something that isn't as described, or isn't the item that you ordered, or, you know, anything along those lines, you can get your money back even if they're claiming that there's no returns. There's buyer protection in that way. With this, I think you had to be in Japan to get that, and unfortunately, you just had to be extra careful and hedge your risk. Slow bro is looking clean at first glance here. That is a nice slow bro. Now, if we could just order them every time and them all show up like this, I would be a very happy individual. He is going straight into the binder. I can almost guarantee that I need one of these bad boys because it was a single card. It wasn't a lot or anything like that. Stick them to the side there, and voila. Oh, baby. We got the old Clefable. We got the Clefable. We got the Pixie, apparently in Japanese. Very cool. Let's see what we got here for photos. We have no obvious damage dirt. That's important to note. So those have been good so far. The sellers that note that have been on point. That is quite the interesting background. I don't know if that's like the turf that you use for mini putt, but Certainly, I guess you could pick up cards pretty easily. Hopefully it's not abrasive enough that it would hurt any of the cards. But we have some very good, very well taken photos. My hopes are high. My expectations are high on this one. We have a lot of sellers rating. We have Tom and Toys and a picture of a hamburger of some sort. Here it is. So if you guys want to reference this, feel free to do so in terms of like the sellers. If you find a seller, or if you're looking at a seller that's got really nice photos or that sent really nice cards as described and all that, feel free to do that. I have created a list in the Discord of, we have a little bit of a series going on. See if we can come back to that. But seller usernames, information in terms of sealed product, which I still would not advise purchasing on there if you can avoid it. But if you do, make sure you're using the websites or the sellers rather that didn't scam me. I've only been scammed by one so far, but be careful out there. Sealed product, Japanese sealed product, very dangerous. We've seen rocks put in it. We've seen juice boxes put in it. We've seen just the hit taken out, the hit pack taken out and swapped with something else. So you have the numbers on that. Check out that video if you haven't, but also just be very careful. Be very careful in general whenever you're purchasing anything. Make sure there's protection in place, or that you know what risk you're taking in advance. Ooh, we got a giraffe rig, and again a cheapy bo beepy. Again, in terms of like single cards, the seller is paying for the shipping, so $8.98 Canadian, 1,000 yen. Not too shabby, not too bad. Man, the yen is really tanked. I don't know if this updates or if this is like the price, the conversion. Man, that is rough. Yeah, that's like a whole 10% less than what it was before. I know at one point in time it was like USD was like a conversion, you lop off a couple zeros. Then it was Canadian dollars, lop off a couple zeros, and now it's even worse than that. So maybe a good time to be buying some Japanese Pokemon cards, singles or anything else from Japan, really. Seems like a pretty good deal. Let's take a look at the photos. What's it say here? For close to unused. Interesting. I don't know if I've seen that description before, but let's take a look at it. That looks pretty clean. It's got a little bit going on in the corners or whatever, but who knows? So here is one of those examples where you might want to, if it's something important, you pay a little bit of extra money to have Buyee check the cards, because I didn't receive the giraffe rig, and I did receive in the entire package some extra energy. So I don't know if maybe my order got mixed up. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me for them to send 4 versus energies in place of a giraffe rig. These also could have came from one of the other sellers, but that's the thing. On a $10 purchase, I did not want to spend extra money. This is one of those times where, like, if something gets messed up, if the condition, if it's not as described, whatever, they send me the wrong thing, or they, try to scam you. Is it worth it on a 1,000 yen? Probably not. So that's the kind of thing that you got to be careful. And if you only placed one order for one item, you got to be careful, because if you got the wrong thing on one thing, you're gonna have a pretty bad time. But where we ordered countless things here, not the end of the world. We'll get another giraffe rig. We'll get them someday. Next up, we have a triple card lot. We got the birds, triple birds, very cool. Faulkner's boys, Faulkner's birds. Now this one says damaged dirty, so this will be interesting to see if that is the case. We got 3 together here in one photo. These are looking, we got a little bit of things going on with the corner here. I can't remember exactly. It's been a little while now. As you guys have probably seen the social media post with these cards going up on there with the purchases. Wow. Okay. Not too shabby. We got a little bit of whitening going on in the corners. But again, we got to try out a little bit of everything here. We got some chips and some dips. There might have been even just one of these cards that I needed. It might have been the deli bird. If I had to guess, if I had to try to remember what's going on. Here they are, the birds. Check them out. We got a little bit of a corner dongle there. Again, usually the hardest thing to tell is like surface, just because if they don't have light on it in the right direction, you might not be able to see it, or if the light isn't bright enough or anything of the sort. We got a little dent there, a little dent mark there. But other than that, oh, we got a little dent on the corner here. We kind of knew that these were. This is actually better than I thought it would be. We got a Farfetch'd earlier. I think the Farfetch'd earlier was in worse condition, even though it was marked in better condition. So definitely go by the photos, and you never know. Even with the photos, unless they're like really good photos, we got a little bit of surface stuff going on there. Again, we couldn't see a lot of that stuff. Got a little bit of a dent there. We were warned though with the damage dirty. I don't see any dirt, but there definitely is some light play on these little guys. Now I think the Delibird again is the most important one here, because I don't think I have another one. I don't think I had it yet. I do love Delibird, the Christmas Pokemon. I don't know if it's actually the Christmas. Ooh, we do have a little bit of dirt on the top there. I don't. That'll probably rub off. Do we rub it? Do we try just finger rubbing it? It's like a fingerprint of some sort. But yeah, she gone. I'm gonna have to go wash my hands now because I don't even want to know what that substance was that was on the card that I just rubbed off. Hopefully just a Cheeto finger, Cheeto grease finger. I guess probably not a Cheeto finger, maybe just like a plain chips finger or something. But yeah, I think the Delibird's pretty good, and I'm pretty sure that was the main reason for that lot. Guys, stick with me here. It's gonna get more exciting. We got to go through all of these, but we got the juicers coming up here. Now, thank you very much for everyone that's been using the link tree. I might have to change the color on it because it makes it look like I'm angry right now, but it's just the monitor shining bright red and pink on my face. I promise I am not upset with anything at the moment. Thanks for using this. Thanks for shopping where I recommend. Thanks for using the discount code. Save yourself some money. Buy the stuff that you should be buying. Never mind this nonsense gambling ridiculousness that is mystery things, mystery boxes, buying from other people. Open your own packs, buy your own stuff, buy your own cards, make smart decisions for the most part, and you'll do well in Pokemon, I promise. Now, what do we got here? We got a Yanma. Ooh, baby, 900 yen Yanma. And we got the little Snorlax there. Very cool. No obvious damages / dirt, so our expectations are immediately high, even before looking at the photos. It looks pretty clean. We got a little something going on there. Again, it's going to be hard to tell with the surface, but we'll take a look at that in a minute. Thank you for viewing. We got pretty cool. All right. Yanma. How you looking, Yanma? Ooh. Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty. We could not see that from the photo. We got a little bit of a scratch or an impression there on the just below the art box, if you will. Other than that, looking pretty good. Again, this is the kind of stuff that is gonna absolutely kill you if you're one of those grading people. I'm not, so it's mostly just it would bother me more than anything. But we got a little dent there, a little micro dent. We got a little bit of smooch maybe on the oh, that might be actual just scuff. We got a little bit of an impression there. Again, usually what we're missing here, or what's going on here, is like little dents and impressions that do not show up in the photos. So keep those in mind, especially with the vintage stuff. If it hasn't been opened recently, yeah, and it's not something that's expensive, chances are that they didn't keep it in that tip-top shape or store it maybe properly. Ninetales time. I'm a little bit surprised at the price on this one. Same price as the Yanma, so hopefully the Ninetales is looking good when we pick it up. I am clicking on the wrong screen. So these little marks on the side here, those are not dents. That's just part of the design. I don't know why it's there. It makes it look like I guess it's part of the art box here that just kind of blends in with the side. But it does look like a dent. It's not a dent. We have a very bright photo, the first one. Hopefully this bad boy is in good shape. It seems like the price, if you were buying this or the Yanma, you would think that the Ninetales, pretty popular Pokemon, would be a little bit more desirable, a little bit more expensive. But I mean, it all just depends what's available at the time, whether or not someone's pricing it to sell, all that kind of stuff. We're more interested in finding out what the condition is like on these, getting you guys a little taste test on purchasing your own cards from Japan. Could be a good way to save a lot of money. Been encouraging people to buy from auctions and such recently. Look for the good deals. Don't get in a bidding war. If it's not a good deal, be very comfortable with losing it. The same with this. If you can't find the card that you need at a good price, wait it out. There's probably they're set cards. There's gonna be another copy. Do not panic buy. Do not impulse buy if you're looking to get the best deal. 9 tails. All right. This is taking a lot longer to record than I thought it would, but that's okay. I think this is a good learning experience for anyone that's getting used to this. Maybe even anyone that's been purchasing and that just wants a larger sample with no financial risk, I guess, is to just kind of take a look at this. Take a look at these purchases. Do your own sort of analysis on the listing itself. That Ninetales is looking good. I'm very happy with that one. I'm gonna call that a win. It's a win. Lance's Aerodactyl. Now the Lance cards absolutely juicing and a loosin'. My god, it's expensive, but I think there's a little bit of a premium on the Kasube cards. Love it. It's like where the Wild Things are art style, the crosshatch kind of shading. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. Probably some of my favorite cards from the set itself. The set is amazing. I love the set. I love the fact that they're tied to trainers, and it's just awesome. It's just awesome. All right, now we got some very nice photos here, very detailed photos. Kind of, you're getting up in the price tag here where you're kind of expecting that. You might have to, depending on your budget, depending on how much risk you're comfortable taking here. You want to have better photos for the stuff that is more expensive, like $10 card. If it's not perfect, it's probably not the end of the world, but when you're spending 34 bucks Canadian on this bad boy, 37.99 yen, you probably want to be pretty certain you have a little damage that's dirty. It looks a whole lot better than that, but again, you got to be looking at the photos and everything. What have we got? We got hashtags for every Pokemon thing in existence here. I guess trying to game the system with the search results, but we got it. We got it. Here he is, the Aerodactyl. Let's take a look at him. He's looking pretty good at first glance here. He's got a little bit of a curve on him, but it's okay. We'll put it in the binder. We got a little bit of a scratch right there, but nothing overly aggressive. Again, it's at a little damage dirty. Price wise, I think is pretty decent. But again, you gotta make sure that you're getting what you want most of the time, and that's only if you're ordering quite a bit of stuff. But with the money that you save, you gotta take it all into consideration. If it's not as described or doesn't meet your expectations one time, if it does other times, you have to kind of like not get yourself down, and kind of like, you know, sometimes it works out really well, sometimes not as much. But average it all out, make smart decisions, be careful, and you're going to be all right. We got some holos coming up soon, but before we do, we got this bad boy. Oh my god, I love this Gyarados. The Kasube, again, we're on the Kasube train. Let's see what we got here. There's a small white chip. Okay, cool. We even got like the little bit of a description here. We have no obvious damages / dirt, but they do describe it in the down below. If it doesn't automatically translate for you, I believe there's an option both on the page itself through Buyee, and then also through your browser you can probably translate it. So make sure you're reading that. Make sure you're being as careful as you need to be, because there might be some important information. Typically it's just a dump of hashtags and nonsense down there. This is looking pretty good. The corners are not perfect, but again, it's going in a binder. I'm not grading this thing looking for a 10. We're getting more expensive, so yes, we're going to be more careful if that's important. Gyarados, our boy Gyarados. He's looking pretty good. So, oh no, he's got a scratch across his face. Got a couple scratches there on the art box. That's a little bit disappointing. And again, it's a little bit, it's getting in the expensive zone. We got a mark there. Again, not super obvious when you're looking at it without a light on it, but if you're looking, I think we got the short end on this one, depending on what the price usually goes for. Still a beautiful card, still love it, but again, we got more imperfections than probably should have been on there, than what were mentioned. It looks like we might have a ding there in the middle too. So, well, that's an L. We're gonna take the L on that one, and unfortunately, that's where we're getting a little bit more expensive here. So that's where you got to be more careful. Again, I'm less careful on this than I probably should be, because I do want to give you guys a pretty good idea from as many sellers as possible. And even if the photos are not, you know, dead on or not like perfect, it's still a nice little flavor, nice little taste. All right, I did promise it. It was going to get more exciting, more expensive, more hollow, and here it is. We got the trifecta of the legendary Doggerinis, and yeah, we're up in the 25,000 yen mark. We have no obvious damages stirred. You need to be looking at all of these. Everything here that is provided. Used products, relatively clean items, and again, sometimes the translations are less than ideal. We got search terms down there. Let's take a look at the photos before we take a look at the cards themselves. Beautiful cards, my god. And yes, I know, guys, before anyone lets me know about how we opened 2 of these packs and we somehow dodged all 3 of the dogs, we got Wobbuffets instead. I know. It sucks. We doubled up on the Wobbuffet. Didn't want to do that. There were these 3 lovely dogs that we could have pulled from that pack, and we failed to do so. But it's okay. They're here. The dogs are here. These photos look pretty dang good. Again, we got some minor imperfections that we can kind of see there. But the photo quality is good. We got a little bit of whitening around the edges on this bad boy. And we got a little bit of a dingle wingle over here. Now with the holos themselves, you get a little bit more selection because people are more likely to be listing this stuff. Largely because it's more valuable, so it makes more sense for them to list it versus some of the inexpensive stuff from the set. But let's take a look at the cards themselves and see how we did. It is a dog inspection time. All right, we got a little bit of a curl, which is kind of expected. Looks like we got a little bit of a pressure mark on the holographic there over top of the head. That is not cool to see. All right, how are we doing here? Now, if you're searching for like mint copies of this stuff, you gotta be pretty picky, pretty choosy. You probably need to be refreshing it, because I would imagine that there's people that are doing the same. And again, there's gonna be times where there's only one option. You gotta be careful with pricing. Careful with pricing on some of this stuff, because depending on how that back is very clean. Overall, pretty awesome. Other than the over the eyeball dent that's on there is a little bit sad to see. We got a little bit of top stuff going on here. Let's see if we can give it a little thumb wiggle. I think that actually got rid of it. All right, very cool. Lots of holo on these too, so from the pictures, be very careful. I don't know if I noticed the rocket guy in the background of this one. Is there a rocket guy in the Suicune? Very cool. Again, new additions to the binders. Spoiler alert, we have more of these coming up. So we'll see how those turned out. Individual listings. There's a little bit of a curl. There's a little white spot there on the corner. I'm not concerned about the white spot. We're okay with the white spot. We want these cards to look as close as possible to what they were when they came out of the pack. And that ding that we could see from the pictures, he is right there. Unfortunate, still beautiful. That's probably an automatic 6 if you're a Grady boy. I don't see what exactly is going on in the background, other than maybe it's a pattern. If anyone knows what's in the background there, please do let me know, other than just some cool pattern. It is a very beautiful card. My god, I love these boys. Oh, we got a dingling there that we definitely did not see from the photos. So again, this is one of those things where if you're buying these and you're looking to grade them, we got a print line. Saw that on a card earlier too. A print line going across there. In general, these cards are very nice coming out of the pack, but again, they can be damaged even if you buy packs. Man, the packs have been around a while, so if they got banged around, if they got dented or whatever, and where the holo is kind of right on the top, if I remember correctly, you got to be careful. Even coming out of the pack, might not be the 10, and the packs are so expensive that yeah, you're probably you're definitely better off buying the cards. Even if you want the mintiest of minty, you're probably better off buying the single than you are the trying to pull one yourself. Even if you do pull one. Bugsy's got a Sizor for us right now, and again, we're a little bit more on the expensive side because we're in the holo zone. And with the holos, yes, you gotta be careful with scratches at certain angles. It can be deceptive, whether it's intentional or not. You might not get to see it. Very cool card. We didn't pull one in the openings, so yeah, we're grabbing this bad boy. This looks really clean. Again, it's probably on the, you can probably get one for less money than 7,222 yen, but where it's clean, the options were probably limited at the time. We got to make a video. We got to grab some stuff. We got to experiment. This is coming from N. I don't know if that's N from Pokemon, but Horsetail, his name's Horsetail when it's roughly translated. Interesting. Condition is good considering it's an old card. I will accept additional photos to confirm the condition. We didn't get additional photos. No damage is dirt. I think I have high expectations for this bad boy, and I can't wait to take a look at him. Here's the bug, the red bug. All right, see what we got here. We do have a little bit of scratching going on the hollow area. I don't have a microfiber here, and I'm not going to rub it with my thumb. But you can see there's a little bit of scratching going on. There looks like there's also a fingerprint right there in case we want to do some CSI action. Again, when you're handling the cards, wash your hands beforehand. You don't need gloves. Gloves are dumb. Just use some like dish soap. Get the grease off of your fingers, so you're not leaving fingerprints all over the place. You're not leaving any dirt onto the card itself. Pretty clean other than that. A little bit, again, there's a lot of hollow foil on many of these cards, so not uncommon to see some weird stuff going on. The back is pretty dang clean. I don't know if that's might be a slight scratch there, but that's beautiful. I'm happy with it. She going in the binder. Did anyone say Evolution fans? We got the light bulb Espeon here and the Natu. All right, let's take a look. This is back to that Rising. Again, Rising had a bunch of this stuff. So it looks like hopefully now we're getting a little bit more expensive here. Espeon tax, the Evolution tax is real. It's got the most bulbous head. It's like one of those apple chihuahuas, apple head chihuahuas. I think that's what they're called. The ones with the really round heads. That is what Espeon's doing right now. That or it's thinking about something really hard, and its head kind of got a little swollen. Now, what's it say? Product is used, so there may be a deterioration. I don't think there's any deterioration. We have a little damage dirty. I think they kind of put this on all of their listings, so we've kind of seen a trend here. If you're going back to buy more, maybe you don't buy them all from one person at the same time. Maybe test them out. If people have a bunch of other listings from the same set or same stuff that you're looking for, you can always refer back and shop by the seller. Or maybe you get some really clean cards from them. Their photos are really good. You can go back and reference the same seller. Please be good. Please be good, Espeon. All right, let's take a look here. This is one that we definitely, again, the photos are hard to tell. They are warning us that there's damage dirty, but it could be that they're just doing that on everything. Espeon's looking real good on the front, and I am very glad that it is because, again, it's expensive. The Natu, we care a little bit less. We can replace the Natu, but for the most part, this bad boy, I don't know if I might even have the Natu. I'm not 100% certain, but that is a nice Espeon. We'll take that all day, every day. Let's check out the Natu. Make sure your playmat and everything is clean too. When you're handling cards, when they're raw on there, I will make sure there's no like little dirt or debris or whatever. You end up with those pressure dents. The Natu is actually really clean too. So it looks like this seller is just like blanket listing everything as the same, whether the cards are in better shape or not. Unfortunately, the photos are not like perfect, that we can't see all the damage or potential damage that's on there with the surface and everything else. But again, risk you take. More risk with the Espeon here than there was previously with the inexpensive 1,000 yen or less cards. But good to know. Did somebody say Claire's Blastoise? Because that's what we're dealing with now. Again, we're a little bit more into the expensive zone here at 5,800 yen. Not crazy expensive, kind of considering that it's a Blastoise. Although maybe there's more Espeon tax than there is Blastoise tax. And again, depending on the day, depending on what's available, we might have better or worse options. There's a small white spot, but I think it is relatively good condition. Please use the photos. There we go. I think this is the same person that we purchased from before. No obvious damages / dirt. Let's take a look here. Photo. All right, we got some nice photos. Again, what we're mostly concerned with surface, which may or may not come up in these photos. It's good to see when there's whitening. I mean, that's a telltale sign. If there's like giant chips out of the thing and you don't want giant chips, that's one less risk you have to take. But be aware that there might be something on the surface that you can't see. Blastoise, please be good, be good, be good. All right, yeah, we're looking pretty good so far. Oh, we got a little bit of stuff going on there. Not the end of the world. Still great for a binder copy. Not the most perfect of perfect surfaces. Definitely not. We're not 10 material here, but it's okay. We're not searching for 10s. I have more glare on this than usual, than I usually would for like an opening or something, just because I want to be able to see every single imperfection that's on there. I'm very happy with the Blastoise. I think that's a win. The Espeon was a win. We're doing good. We need more wins than we have losses. And again, I rushed a lot of these purchases. Because I think the point or the purpose of this is more the experience of gaining experience, showing you guys what it's like, seeing what you should be looking for, what the risk is involved. There's risk in pretty much everything, so trying to mitigate that risk as much as possible is kind of the way to go and the way to succeed with this stuff. Prices, Sneasel. All right, this is a Steeleroni. If it's in good condition here, we have that's good condition right there, I guess. If it's in the condition that we want it to be near mint kind of thing. We have a little damaged dirty on there for the price, and then this is it's a holo. You get one holo per pack. The booster packs are extremely expensive. If this is in good shape, we're doing good. There's some scratches on the front and back, so please refrain from purchasing if you are sensitive about this. Amateur storage, please refrain if you're looking for perfect. We're okay with it not being perfect, and again, we have to take a look at the photos to really know what's going on here. It looks really good in the photos, but again, we're going to take a look at all of the photos, and it could be a copy-pasted description, so keep that in mind. Now, there's a lot of holo on there. You would think that we would see a lot of those scratches. There's a little bit of whitening on the corners. There's a little bit of a janky corner there. We do have a little bit of a surface thing going on there, but we'll find out right now. Sneasel, let's get it. So with the versus cards, if you guys didn't notice, there's no like evolving Pokemon or anything like that. The Pokemon is just a Pokemon because these are like decks that you're supposed to play right out of the box. So that mechanic is gone. Whether or not it's a basic Pokemon or a stage 1 or stage 2, you can just kind of play them down. All right, so first thing I notice is we do have a little bit of a curve. Not the end of the world. We're okay with curves because we're going to put it in a binder. That'll flatten out over time. That's largely to do with the foil. Could be moisture and or heat, or sometimes they're just from the factory. I don't know if it's a certain... Wow, that is for something that was advertised as badly as it was. That's looking pretty clean on the front. I am seeing no sign of scratches or dents. We did see a scratch on the back. I think they showed one. Oh, we do have a couple little scratches there. Little surface things that are showing up. That might rub off. And we'll give it a little finger wipe. See if that gets it. Be careful if it's really dirty. You probably don't want to be like pressing it around. Or anything like that. The microfiber is probably the way to go. So there is some like little imperfections on the back, but that's pretty good for the price. 3,000 yen for a holo. And it's in pretty good shape. Again, you're probably not grading this because it's got all kinds of little imperfections on the back. The front is damn clean. That is a binder wet dream right there. We take it. We take that. That's a win. Suicune time, baby! All right, we have Rockets Suicune individual ones, and again, yes, there's duplicates of these because I do have a friend who is collecting the set as well, so we gotta help her out at the same time. And if one of them is too janked up for either of our binders, then maybe we list it with some nice pictures. We put it on eBay or something of the sort. Never the end of the world. All right, let's take a look at this one. Again, I am confused on what's in the background there, whether or not it's like a rocket. Maybe there's like a face or something in there somewhere. It's weird that the other two would have the face, but not that one. Looks like we might have a little scratch here, either that or a hair. We'll take a look for that when the time comes here in a minute. We have a little bit of whitening around the corners. It was a little bit limited on what was available. I think there were some that were like really expensive. But again, the prices are all over the place on this stuff. Just because there's so few. Also, I don't know how people are pricing them exactly when they put them on there. But when there's only a few options, the prices can be a little bit all over the place. If something seems like it's too high, you might want to wait and see if something else pops up. Here she is, and hopefully she's nice for 9,800 yen. 88 Canadian boners. Right, so I think there is a little scratch there. It's hard to get it to show up. Little scratch right there. There's a lot of foil on there. The surface is looking pretty dang clean on the front. And we got some like corners are not perfect. That could be from the factory, or it could be. It seems like this was stored pretty well, protected pretty well. We got a little mark right here. Let's see if we can give it the old finger rub. No, that is just a straight up a surface scratch. Oh, we got the same fingerprint on the top there. Get out of here. That'll come off, I'm sure. I think that's just from people putting it in a sleeve, taking it out of a sleeve. A little bit of finger stuff going on. A little tiny ding here, little dent. But I think that's a pretty nice binder copy, if you ask me. I think the other one that we had a little corner ding. So this is probably the better of the two. We're happy with that. I like it. Next up, we have another dog, holo dog. We got the Raikou, and we have a price adjustment, apparently. Unused Pokemon card VS Team Raikou. Again, we're up in the expensive zone with the 8,500 yen. At least relatively expensive compared to a lot of the cards in the set. Good condition, but managed by an amateur, so please only purchase if you understand that. Okay, alright, let's take a look at the photos. That's looking pretty dang clean. Remember the last one we had like a dent kind of over the guy's eye. A little kind of impression or whatever. Which is, you know, I think I'd probably rather have that than like really scratches or anything like that. Okay, we got a little bit of whitening on the top left there, a little on the right, bottom right. Let's take a look at the card itself. Raikou! Alright, how's he looking? He is a little bit curved. It looks like we're doing pretty good on the surface here. I don't really see any scratches in the holographic area. Yeah, no dent on the creepy dude in the background. Ooh, we got a little like fingernail impression or something there. Which is not the end of the world. I can live with that. Again, I'd rather have that. Oh no! Got a big old scratch on the back there. Again, not visible in the photos, but when you put it under some light, you're bound to see those. So that's a little bit of a disappointment. It looks like we have a little bit of a... I think that's like water damage. Water damage or like a crease. Something going on. It might have got wet there on the top, which is unfortunate if it did. I don't know if somebody tried to wipe it and they got it in the edge of the card, or maybe the binder got some water damage. That's a nice card. Other than that, it's still gonna be it's still a nice binder card. Still a nice budget version, but it's unfortunate because we definitely did not see that coming, and that's the kind of thing that if it's not in the photos, you got to be careful. You might get that every now and then. It's gonna happen. Unfortunately, we're gonna call that an L. You guessed it. We have Entei as well here. We're up in the 7,500 yen mark, and let's see what's going on here. We have anything stored in a sleeve, in a showcase, white spot scratches, something. Returns not possible. Get it while you can. Here it is. Wait. What? It won't let me maximize my photos here. What is going on with this? It won't let me pop them out. That's weird. Alright. We'll just do one of these. We'll make it big. It definitely did. I can't imagine it did that when I... Alright, let's take a look here. We're gonna look at the card itself too. We got a little bit of edgy wedgy. going on. Again, minor imperfections. I'm not too worried about those. But hopefully this one is not the same as the Raikou. Hopefully we did a little bit better on this one, right? Right? Here he is, Entei. And also their photos kind of didn't do it justice. You can kind of tell there was a swirl there, but that swirl, you should have been advertising that swirl. Maybe it's not a thing over there. Maybe the seller doesn't quite realize that people love swirls. There are some people out there, some love them more than others. This is pretty good. Again, we had a little bit of edge damage. You can kind of see on the top there. It's not perfect. I'm not too worried about that. We got a little bit of a scratch there on the left-hand side. We have the monster of all swirls, probably in the optimal place. We have the creepy dude in the background, silhouette, whatever you want to call it, the rocket silhouette. We got a little bit of weirdness going on with the corner there. Overall, pretty clean. I'm happy with the front. Let's see what's going on the back. All right, no weird water damage creasy thing going on. We got a little nixter going on there. Oh, we got some like light scratches going on the back side of it here. We got some. Let's see what's going on. See if we can't remove that. Now it looks like we got a little bit of the surface thing going on the back. Still a beautiful card. Still pretty awesome. Again, probably very similar to the Raikou, minus the weird water damage denty thing across the top. So happy with that. Not a super win, but I think that's a win. Binder time as promised. And again, thank you very much to Buyee for the video, providing the means to do the video. You know we're in budget mode right now, so them providing the ability to more of a learning experience, I think, is the purpose of the video. But also you can see slowly but surely filling out the versus binder here. Aiming to complete it. Not all the cards are perfect. They don't have to be. It's still nice to see these. Really do love the set. Really do love taking a look at these. Even like little details once you hold them in person that you might not realize, or if you take a closer look at them, I guess, individually. Again, just a shame. That page is that's a wild page right there. Yes, we do have the one of two Wobbuffets that we pulled out of a pack. Doing my best here to get the glare off. The binder makes it difficult. Definitely makes it difficult. As you can see here, we're missing some Pokemon. Missing 4 in a row there, which is pretty wild. But a large majority of what we're missing here at the back is TMs, which we'll hack away at it. I'm gonna have to pay attention to listings, or see if there's like one big listing for a bunch of them all at once. Got all the energies at the back here hanging out. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this was helpful. That's kind of the main objective here, is so you guys get used to ordering your own stuff, so that you're not necessarily having to buy it from somebody that's doing this exact same thing. You can kind of get it straight from the source, or straight from a Japanese seller who has the stuff available. Again, take your time, get used to it, play around with it, and I promise it'll pay off in the long run. If you're gonna grade cards, grade your own cards. Get some lots. Try out some lots. Some of the stuff that's hidden, you might get a lot of bulk. But again, it's all takes practice, takes time to get used to all this stuff. Thanks for tuning in. If you made it through the whole video, you're an absolute trooper. And I do love you extra more than everyone else who tuned out before this. Thanks for joining. Join the Discord. Again, if you need help with this stuff, I can point you in the right direction. It's best if you join the happy hour on Saturdays, when we'll be in like the voice and video chat. If you need some tips, you can share a screen and I can kind of show you what you should be doing, what you should be looking for. The menus and stuff like that are a little bit tricky, but once you know what you're doing, it's pretty smooth sailing from there. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Bye.